Hello and good morning. Welcome back to my channel. It is a brand new week. If you're new here, my name is JJ and I make lifestyle and travel content. And lately I've been vlogging about this period in my life, which is a bit of a transitionary period. I'm basically starting from scratch. Over the last couple of months, I've had some issues with my business. I left a 6-year long relationship and I'm single for the first time in a very long time. And I've moved out of the apartment that I shared with my partner and into a rented room in a house share whilst I basically figure out what I'm gonna do with my life. So I've just been like vlogging the process of that and sharing it with you guys because I don't think that this is like a unique situation to me. I'm a strong believer in our lives aren't meant to stay the same forever. Like we have different chapters in life and sometimes you do just have to start from scratch, begin your story all over again. And that's kind of where I am. And if you guys are in a similar situation or you can relate at all, I just think it's really nice if we can all kind of follow along this journey together. So if you like the sound of that sort of thing, then hit the subscribe button. And if you haven't seen my last couple of vlogs, then go and check those out. But I didn't vlog at all last week. I kind of took a little break after my trip to York. I think I got back from York late on the Monday, and then the whole Tuesday I basically just like spent the whole day in bed, like binge watching Netflix, scrolling on my phone, relaxing. And honestly, I don't even feel bad about it. Like I kind of needed that day to just do nothing and just let my body like recharge a little bit. So that was really nice. And then the end of the week actually was quite productive. Like I've been continuing with the decluttering project. So everything is looking a lot tidier now. I've taken a few more bags of stuff to the donation center. I'm really condensing like everything I own. I did get a bit overwhelmed at one point and I was like, I don't want to own things. Why do I own so many possessions? Like, I don't need this much stuff. And like, was so tempted to just, I don't know, like hire a skip and just get rid of everything and just completely start again. But talked myself out of that little hiccup and I have made good progress on the decluttering and I still have things. I haven't completely gotten rid of everything. The room's starting to come together and feel a lot more homely. Another thing I did was get a new electric heater because this house is like really old and like there's no double glazing or anything on the windows, or at least I don't think there is, but like basically it just gets really cold in here. The landlord only turns the heating on for like, I don't know, half hour to an hour or so in the evenings, and then like the room just does not retain heat at all. I think there's a few cracks in the walls and stuff that's like drafts free, but like it does not retain heat. So as soon as the heating goes off, it just gets freezing, and especially during the day, it gets so cold. So my electric bill is like included with my rent, so it doesn't really matter how much electric I use. So I was like, I'll just buy a little electric heater and heat up my room. So I've just like constantly got that on the go at the moment. It's just made my room so much more cozy and it's just had like the biggest effect on my mood. I think I was really struggling when I was feeling cold all the time. If you saw the other vlogs, I was really like grumpy, my mood was very up and down, and I think the cold was really contributing to that a lot. It was less than 20 quid on Amazon and it was, yeah, definitely a worthwhile investment. I'm loving it. I've also been keeping up with my hot yoga. I went to another 3 classes last week and again, I'd say that has had such a huge effect on my mindset. I don't know what it is. I don't know whether it's like the endorphins from moving my body or whether it's like the mindfulness and like that taking that little time to be present and like just fully focused on my body. I'm sleeping better. I'm not as tearful. I'm not having as many like negative thoughts. I'm not like down on myself as much. I'm definitely just all around feeling a lot better. So I go to Hot Pod Yoga. They have locations all over the UK and I'm going to leave a code in the description. It's not sponsored or anything, it's just like a regular referral code, but if you use that code you can get a free class. So I do recommend it. Like I am just absolutely loving it. Bruising from my filler injection has finally gone. I had like the worst bruising for a solid 2 weeks after getting the injections, but that's finally cleared up and I can finally see like the full effect of getting the filler and I'm so happy with it. I really love it. I think in my last vlog I was quite emotional and I was having like quite a down week. I was still feeling really sad about my breakup and just feeling lost and not knowing like where I'm going to go from here, and those feelings have definitely gotten better. I don't know if it's the yoga or if it's just time healing me or whatever, but definitely feeling a lot better in terms of like my mental health. So before I was like getting really down on myself thinking like, oh my God, I have nothing. And now I've kind of like flipped the script a little bit, and instead of thinking of that as like a negative thing, I'm thinking of it as an opportunity and thinking like, I have nothing tying me down here to this place. Like, isn't that an amazing opportunity? I have nothing. All I have is opportunities. So I've signed the lease on this place for 6 months. So I guess it's 5.5 months left now. And then after that, I'm really seriously considering moving abroad. I've been thinking about it a lot and trying to think how I can make that a reality and like where I want to go. But I'm just thinking like this is the perfect time, the perfect opportunity for it because like I said, I'm not tied down to anything at the moment. It's something I've always wanted to do. And like, rather than investing in a property in the UK and tying myself down here, or like getting into another relationship and tying myself down here, or I don't know, whatever, I just think if I don't do it now, when will I do it? It's like one of those things my whole life I've been like, oh, one day I would love to live abroad. And then, like, when is one day going to be, if not now? So that is something that I've been considering. Like, I'm still very much in like the early stages. I haven't even decided where I want to move or anything like that, or like looked into visas or seriously considered the logistics of it. But it's a thought that's been in my head, and I thought I would share it with you guys because I think that's had a big impact on helping me get through this time, is just thinking of all these possibilities and all these opportunities that are now just like here, and like I have a blank canvas, a fresh slate. Like, what a beautiful privilege and what an amazing thing that I have. Like, that's a gift from the universe, and that's how I'm choosing to view it now, rather than viewing it as like, oh, I don't have anything, I'm a failure. There's always two ways of looking at things, and like you can choose to view things in the negative way, or you can choose to see the opportunities or see the bright side or the silver lining or whatever. And I'm trying really hard to make the conscious choice to like go this direction, to see the opportunities and the bright side. I don't even know if that makes sense. I'm like seriously rambling right now. But yeah, that's just where I'm at. So that was a little catch up on what I've been like, you know, where my headspace has been the last week or so. So today is Monday, and this week is going to be a dedicated get your shit together week. You know, I've had my time to feel my feelings and to like settle into my new place and everything, and now I really need to like get some work done and to really like push myself forward. So this is my plan for the week. I'm I really struggle. I don't know if it's like an ADHD thing or what, but like I really struggle with planning and with having like calendars. If I have a digital calendar, like a Google Calendar or whatever, I just forget that it exists. The same if I have like a book, like a paper planner, again, I'll just like put it in a drawer and forget that it exists. So I've started now just writing like a little scrappy plan like this on this piece of paper, and I don't know. Like, I would love to be one of those girls who like has like all these notion boards and like plans her life down to a T and is very type A, but it's not me. I'm a chaotic hot mess, and I think I always will be. So rather than trying to be like the perfect planner girl, I'm just going to go with what works for me. So I've kind of broken the tasks down. Here I've got like appointments. So I've got like a few yoga classes booked. I've got therapy tomorrow. Getting my nails, and look at this mess. Nails seriously need a refresh. So getting my nails done and my lashes, because when I was going through my breakup, I cried all my lashes off, and my lash tech basically said to me like, let's like take a break with your lashes for a while, wait until you stop crying, and then we'll put them back on. So I think I'm finally there at the point so I can get my lashes put back on, and I think I might get my brows done as well, to be honest. Then I've got some videos that I want to film. Then I've got some like small little tasks, things like I've got another couple of bags for donation that I need to drop off. I need to buy a few more things for the room, just like small little things like that. Then I've got my what I'm calling my big get your shit together activities. So I want to set up a new budget because obviously my expenses have completely changed now that I've moved, and this last month I've honestly just been winging it, and I have been impulse spending, and it's getting towards the end of the month now, and I'm like, I have less money in my bank account than I would ideally like. So I don't like living like that. So I do need to get my finances back on track, get back into the habit of tracking everything. I've downloaded like this new spreadsheet, which I'm really excited to use. So I'm going to get that all set up and try and set some like financial goals and some savings goals, and if I'm honest, I really do need to pay down a little bit of my credit card as well. So I just need to get all that under control again, because at the moment, avoiding looking at my bank balance and then just spending, 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 and like that's a really bad habit and it needs to stop. I need to change all my addresses with like the bank, the doctors, the electoral roll, like I feel like there's someone else, but like, you know, all these big important places that need your address. So I need to change my address of everyone. All the clothes from my wardrobe purge, the clothes that I decided to sell, I need to upload those to Vinted. That is going to be a huge job in itself because I have 4 bags worth. Then I need to organize my shoes because that is the one last thing in the room that is still in bags and still cluttered mess. And then once I've organized my shoes and maybe bought like a little shoe rack or something for them to go on, that'll be it. That'll be the room and the big decluttering project finished. So I really want to get that done this week. And then finally, I need to book a doctor's appointment because I'm pretty much convinced that I have ADHD. Everyone around me says that I have ADHD. I remember years ago, back when I was in uni, they did like this assessment and they told me that I scored really high for like ADHD traits, but I've never actually gotten an official like diagnosis. And I think I'm just at this point now where like I just want to see if life would be any easier if I actually had a diagnosis and I like took medication for it, and like whether that would actually help me. I've always been really resistant to the idea of like I don't want to have to take medication every day for the rest of my life, but I don't know. I'm just starting to accept the fact that like I definitely have some limitations because of these ADHD traits. So I want to book a doctor's appointment and just get the ball rolling on trying to get referred to an ADHD specialist, getting a proper diagnosis, and then getting the medication. I know that's going to be like a whole thing, like especially with like how the NHS is at the moment with their waiting list, and I think there's like a national shortage of the medication. So I know it's not going to be like the easiest thing to get done, and it's going to be a lot, and yeah, it's going to be overwhelming, but it's just something that I need to just bite the bullet and get done. It's all part of this whole like trying to be my best self thing, and like I think I want to try being medicated and just see how it feels. If it does improve my life, like why not? And if it doesn't, I can always come off the medication and just go back to how I am. So there's nothing to lose really. I just know it's going to be an overwhelming process, so I just need to get the ball rolling on that. But we're going to try and take the first step for that this week. And then the last section I've got on here is just like a bunch of work stuff that I need to get done, which is mainly stuff to do with my blog, which is my main source of income, but I haven't worked on it in months. I've kind of just left it there, bringing in its passive income, doing its thing, but I really want to get back on track on that. And then finally, I want to start taking my YouTube more seriously and treat that as a job, even though at the moment it's like nowhere near being monetized. I think as I'm recording this, I have less than 100 subscribers, but I'm a big fan of like faking it until you make it. And like, even and I did this with my blog as well. Like I treated it like my full-time job even before it was making me any money. And that's how I got it to the point where I could be making money, by treating it as a business from the start. So I want to start doing that with my YouTube as well. Get really serious about, you know, putting out content on a specific schedule, planning my videos in advance, scripting, doing keyword research, all that kind of stuff. Basically following the same strategies and business plan as I did with my blog and getting that monetized. But with my YouTube channel, I just like having a challenge like that. And I think for me, once I did get my blog monetized and I got it to the point where it was making me a full-time income, I like almost immediately lost interest in it, because I'm all about like the challenge and the chase. And then once I achieve something, it's just kind of like, eh, which is a really awful, awful mindset to be in, and I need to get out of it. But yeah, I just think it would be nice to like have a little bit of a challenge and a drive and a goal. Make a plan to get my YouTube monetized. It's a long way off right now, but you gotta start somewhere. So yeah, that's what we're gonna be doing this week. So stick around and follow along with me. Okay, so I've just sat down to work on my budget. I'm going to screen record and show you this spreadsheet that I downloaded because it's really cool. So here I am just on like the instructions overview page. So this shows you what it's going to look like when I've got it all filled in. So there's like a budget, a calendar so that you can see like when your bills are going out, a savings and debt tracker, and a debt snowball calculator. And I think that's going to be really helpful for, well, one of my goals from doing the life audit. If you saw my life audit video, one of my goals was to pay down my credit card debt. So I think this debt snowball calculator is going to be really helpful in doing that. I need to go through and watch the instructions on how to get it set up. They've got this like really helpful little video instructions, but I just wanted to first of all show you what it looks like before I put anything in it. So it kind of, once all the numbers are filled in, you can put in like your budget, your income, your expenses, and then it'll tell you how much you've got left to spend, your total income, things like that. You can put subscriptions and memberships, all your different kind of expenses, all your bills, all your different incomes. I'm not really sure what the transaction tracker is, because wouldn't that just be the same as expenses? So yeah, obviously I need to like figure out how to use this, but I think this is going to be so helpful, especially for someone like me who's like very, very visual. It's definitely going to help me stay on track. And then this calendar is going to tell me like when things are due, when certain bills are coming out. Not okay, so this is the savings and debt tracker. Again, I have no idea how this works at the moment, but once I start putting in numbers, there should be like a nice graph here. Again, very, very visual. And the debt snowball calculator, which I'm really looking forward to playing around with this and basically coming up with a plan for paying off that credit card. So I'm going to go ahead now and watch the tutorial. Hopefully it's going to be pretty simple, self-explanatory. I'm going to start plugging in my numbers and yeah, we're going to see how that goes. Okay, so I've been working on this budget all day, and let me tell you, it has been humbling. Like, you guys, my spending was out of control. Like, I knew that I had a problem with impulse spending, and I knew that I wasn't tracking where my money was going, and yeah, I was very much like burying my head in the sand, and you know, just not looking at my bank balance, just spending money like I had all the money in the world, and just praying that my card didn't decline, I guess. So I've done my budget. I've realized just like how much money I was spending on stupid things, like little treats here and there, like little coffees and snacks when I'm out and about, takeout, things I didn't really need to be spending money on, like quick dopamine hits, really, let's be honest. So anyway, it's took me hours, but I've put in like all my expenses, all my bills, my savings goals, everything. It's all there. It's all like laid out super visual now so I can see it. And I think I'm gonna like schedule in a time each week to make sure that it's up to date. And yeah, hopefully this is gonna help me get on track. So just whilst I was waiting for the camera to recharge, I did a bit of meal prepping. So I've got dinner sorted for the next 3 nights now, and I did some laundry earlier today. And that's it. That's been like my whole day. Like those 3 tasks took up all day. Like I don't know where the time has gone today. It's gone so fast. Yeah, today's not really been that interesting, but I am glad that I got the budget done. That's like been weighing over me as like a task that needed doing. So I'm glad that that's now ticked off the list. Yeah, so I'm gonna go to yoga now, and I guess I will catch up with you tomorrow. Good morning, guys. I'm so excited because I woke up this morning, I opened my blinds, and I literally gasped because it's snowing. We never get snow here in the UK, and I love snow, so it's like a total novelty. Um, like literally one of the reasons why I was thinking of moving abroad is because I want to move somewhere that like gets snow in the winters. So that's how much I love it. I was like so happy when I woke up this morning. I looked outside and saw the snow. I wasn't expecting it. I haven't been keeping an eye on like the weather reports. One thing it does mean though is like I need to move up my shoe organization project because I do not have any winter appropriate footwear unpacked. Because like literally last week it was sunshine and I've just been walking around with like regular sneakers, so I need to quickly unpack all my shoes and find some boots because I need to leave for therapy in an hour. Yeah, so that's my first plan of attack this morning. Yeah, so I'm just having my coffee in bed before I get started with the day properly. last night was really nice. It was really chill. I actually didn't want to go to yoga. I was in a bit of a weird mood after I did my budget. But I forced myself to go, and I got there and the class was absolutely packed. It was so busy. Like, some of the poses I couldn't fully like extend because I would have like been hitting someone else, so that was annoying. But once I got into it, it was so good, and I left the class feeling amazing. I really, really love hot yoga. Honestly, it's like my new obsession. But yeah, so that felt really good. Came home, had a nice shower. Then I just had my dinner, which I'd already made before I left, so that was nice. I didn't have to worry about that. Sort of watched my favourite comfort show whilst I was eating. Then I just had a really cosy evening. Like, I lit some candles, I played Animal Crossing, I read my book. It was nice. It's nice that I can kind of have these cozy evenings without someone telling me that I'm like wasting time or not being productive. I feel like I can fully relax, which I haven't felt like in a really long time. So yeah, it was good. Okay, so like all these bags are full of shoes, except these are donation stuff that need to go. But I don't have time to fully sort out the whole shoe collection right now because I need to get to therapy. But like, I really need to find some boots. So I'm hoping I have some because I have a feeling that I threw my boots out last year and I haven't replaced them. Oh, I don't know how I can. Oh gosh. Okay. Oh, I guess I could wear my Wellingtons. I was kind of looking for my combat boots, but I don't know if these are snow appropriate or whether they'll get wet. I don't think they've got any holes in them. I might wear these. Oh, these need to go. These need to go in the trash. Okay, I could wear these. These will work. I think these will be snow appropriate. So there we go. At least I've got those. And then I need to deal with this at some point. So I just came out of therapy and like it stopped snowing, which I'm so sad about. It's kind of like just drizzling now. But in therapy we were talking about scheduling time for self-care. So even though I've got a lot to do today on my to-do list, I am going to take some self-care time first. So go head to the park, head to my favourite little cafe and get myself hot chocolate and a brownie, make the most of the snow before it melts. Okay, so I know if you're like from Canada or Sweden or somewhere, you're probably like, why is this girl getting so hyped? There's barely any snow on the ground. But I swear to you, this is like the most snow I've seen in years. Like, especially where I live, like, I don't think it snowed at all last year. And the year before, I don't think it was this much. It was like maybe more frost than snow, I guess. So I just hardly ever see it, and I love the snow. It makes me feel Christmassy and cozy, and yeah, I don't know if it's just a novelty or what, but I've always loved the snow, and I've always loved like winter, proper winter. Because here in the UK we usually just get rain and it's sad and depressing, but snow is pretty. It makes me happy. So there's so many animals out in the park today. Like I've seen squirrels and pigeons, and like a minute ago I was walking along and then all of a sudden in front of me there was just like a squirrel, a mouse and a rat all just like hanging out together. I feel like I'm Snow White. Okay, so I'm back from the park now. The snow has like already melted and just turned to rain, so that was short-lived, but I'm really glad that I took the time to like go out and enjoy it whilst it was there. So now I'm going to have a bit of lunch, get the room kind of cozy. I've got like laundry and stuff hanging about that needs putting away. And light some candles. Like even though the snow's gone, I still kind of feel those cozy vibes. So I'm gonna get it really nice and warm and cozy in here. And then I'm gonna crack on with some work. I am glad that I took this morning for like self-care, but I'm also like thinking about my to-do list in my mind. But I was talking with my therapist a lot about making time for self-care and like not feeling guilty, because I do spend a lot of time on self-care, but I feel really guilty for it. So it's kind of like counterproductive because I'm just feeling like, you know, I'm not actually resting, I'm not actually relaxing, because my mind is like overthinking, thinking like, oh my god, I should be doing this, and this, instead of just being present in the moment and enjoying the relaxation. So that's something I'm like actively working on. And one thing she suggested is like scheduling self-care. So in that plan that I did yesterday, I've now added a little section for self-care tasks that I'm going to do this week. So I've done my walk in the park, and then I've also scheduled in another yoga class, some time to play Animal Crossing on my Nintendo Switch, and also some time to do some crochet, because that was a hobby I used to have and I just like stopped doing it, mostly because my ex used to berate me a lot and say it was a waste of time. But it's something I really want to get back into, because when I was organizing my craft supplies, I just have so much yarn and it's just taking up space because I'm not using it. And I also have so many like half finished projects. So I'm going back to Bristol in the week after next, and I want to take a blanket for my cousin's baby. So I've got like several blankets which are about like 3/4 done. So I want to get at least one of them finished so I can take a blanket back for the baby. So yeah, I'll spend a bit of time doing that this week. And I think like having it on the to-do list and making it into a task that needs to be ticked off is like hopefully gonna trick my brain into not feeling guilty or bad for spending time doing something that I enjoy. So yeah, gonna try that as like a little life hack. Right now, I'm gonna get myself a bit settled, and then I'm just gonna crack on with some work. I'm so sad because I've almost run out of this candle, and it is like the perfect scent for winter, but it's ridiculous. Look at the state of it now. I think maybe I can get one last use out of it, and then I really hope I can rebuy it because it's so nice. So I've been using this app called the Calm app. I've been using it for like ages now. I love it. I get the paid version, which I think is about £30 a year. Usually I use it for like meditation and like breathing, like guided breathing exercise and stuff, but I've just discovered recently that they have all these like soundscapes on there. So yesterday I was listening to one which was like cozy winter cabin. Today I'm listening to one that's like coffee shop, and it's just like background noise as if you were working in a coffee shop. I don't know why, but that makes me feel so much more productive than like listening to music. I get a little distracted when I'm listening to music or like listening to an audiobook or the radio or something whilst I'm working, but like if I have these like just soundscapes on in the background, I find it so much more easier to concentrate. So I thought I would share that with you guys because it's like been a game changer for me. So it's about think it's about 8 p.m. now. I did quite a few hours of work and then I've just sort of had a break for an hour, had some dinner, watched a show. Now I'm trying to decide what to do. I was going to do some editing, but I'm actually feeling quite sleepy, so I don't know if I should just like wind down for the evening, have like a quiet evening instead. I know like my editing is really sort of piling up the amount that I need to do. I've been like filming loads of videos, but I've just like not been editing them, and it's like getting overwhelming now. So I feel like cracking on with that would really settle my feelings of overwhelm. But on the other hand, I kind of just want to chill. I think maybe I'll set a timer and I'll just edit for like 40 minutes or so, because at least it's something. And yeah, then I'm going to get in my pajamas and probably just read for the rest of the night. So I actually like set my timer for 40 minutes, but when the alarm went off, I was just like, by that point I was just really into editing, so I just kept going. So it's about 9:30 now and I'm kind of like forcing myself to quit and call it a day, because I do want to get an early night tonight, so it's time I started like winding down. Yeah, so I'm just gonna do my skincare, get into my pajamas, and I think I'm just gonna read a book for an hour or so. And yeah, I think today was a good day. Supposedly it's going to snow again tomorrow, so we'll see what it's like when I wake up in the morning. Good morning. I feel like absolute crap this morning, honestly. I barely slept last night. I've got like this really sore throat, and I think like I'm starting to get a cough, so I think I've caught a cold. Um, so maybe walking around in the snow yesterday wasn't such a good idea. I don't know. I've got a headache, and yeah, I'm tired because I barely slept all night. So yeah, not a good start to the day. I've got like, I keep thinking of all the things that I've got on my to-do list, my little plan that I made, and it's like so much. And I honestly don't feel like doing anything today. I think at most I just want to do some like sit at my desk all day and do some editing. But that's like quite low down on my list of priorities. But also, if that's all I can handle today, then I need to kind of meet myself where I'm at, because I really do feel like crap right now. I'm gonna have a coffee and maybe see how I feel after that. So I've like forced myself to come out for a little walk. I've not even like done my hair or anything. I literally just like got out of bed, had a quick shower, and was just out the front door, because it just felt like the day had the potential to be wasted festering in bed. So I was like, right, get up, get out, and you'll feel better. Get a bit of vitamin D. Also, look at this. You would never even know that it had been snowing yesterday. It's like blue sky. Crazy. myself some lunch. I just got like some noodles here with like tofu, mushrooms, peppers, and then like peanut butter, chia seeds, sesame oil, dark soy sauce, and then just some spices like paprika and ginger. Honestly, it's so good and like so quick and easy to make. I think this has like 30 grams of protein, which is actually a lot for like a plant-based meal. I'm still feeling pretty rough, but I'm just like trying to force myself to eat because I've been really bad at like skipping meals lately. So real food. Good morning. I'm feeling so much better today. Like, I don't know what was happening yesterday because I honestly thought that I was getting really sick. Like, my throat really hurt. It was so scratchy, and I thought I was going to lose my voice, and I was just exhausted and wiped out. But today I feel fine. I feel like absolutely back to normal. So that was some kind of like weird one day cold, but thankfully I seem to be over it now. I did end up just like going to sleep all afternoon. So yeah, yesterday didn't exactly go to plan. I know I said this week was gonna be like getting my shit together, and then yesterday was just a bit of a write off. So but we're back on it today. Feeling good today. I need to go get my nails and my lashes done, which I'm so excited about. But I do need to get a move on because it's like 8:30 now already. So I'm gonna go wash my hair before I go. I don't know if I was feeling bad yesterday because the day before was a therapy day, and I've kind of started to notice that as a pattern that like when I have therapy afterwards, sometimes I just feel completely like wiped out for a day or so. I don't know if anyone else gets that. I think maybe it's something to do with like um, using so much like emotional energy in therapy that it then kind of affects me physically as well. But I feel like that's something I've started to notice, so I might just keep an eye on that. So yeah, today I'm gonna get my nails done and then get back onto my list, which has not progressed as much as I would like it to. So hopefully today I can get a few things ticked off. All right, should we just have a little chat for a bit? This is like lemon and ginger tea. It's really good. So I got my nails done. I'm really happy with this color. It's like a pink glitter, but it's like a really dense glitter, and it's almost kind of like a rose gold. It's really pretty. And then I got my brows and my lashes done as well, which I haven't had my lashes on for ages now. About 6 weeks, I think. So it feels really good to get them back on. Like, feels like myself. Like, I don't know about you guys, but I feel naked without my lashes, basically. So I know I said this week was going to be like, you know, watch me get my shit together, like watch me get stuff done kind of week, but is not turned out that way. Like, I wish I could be one of those YouTubers who is like making all this like inspirational content, like, you know, smashing their winter arc, rebranding themselves in 30 days, all these other kind of trends and stuff. Like, I love that kind of content and I wish I could be that kind of YouTuber, but like, that's not me. I'm not, I can only be real at the end of the day. I feel like I just need to be real, and like, I'm not smashing it at the moment. I'm struggling. I am, I am a girl who is struggling. So don't watch me for the inspirational content. Watch me, I don't know, watch me struggle, I guess, and just be real about it. And like, I had all the good intentions to like get back to work this week and like really start like going hard on my goals and like smashing it and just like getting my life in order. But I just don't think I'm ready. I think I need a little longer in my like soft girl era, honestly. And I've spoken about this before in some other videos, but just in case you're like new here, what's going on with me is basically up until this summer, I was very, very deep in that kind of like hustle culture, that like go, 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 like you got to push yourself extra hard. You always got to have a goal. You always have to have an intention for every day. You always have to like wake up early, go to the gym, work, 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 like work on your business, like be the best version of you, like do it all for your future self, like all that kind of, I don't know, almost like toxic productivity that gets pushed on us a lot these days in social media. I was deep, deep into that. And I was working on my business, like, I don't know, I would get up in the morning, I would go to the gym, whatever, and then my working day from early in the morning, I would just be like work, work, work all day long. I would only take breaks to do the household chores because I was also doing 100% of the household work. There was no division of labor in our relationship. I was doing 100%, so I was doing like the grocery shopping, the cooking, the cleaning, the garbage, like everything. So, I would go to the grocery store, I would cook hand cooked meals from scratch every evening, and then after dinner, I would be like right back to work, right up until sort of like 10, 11 p.m., and then just like crash into bed exhausted. So, and I was doing that 7 days a week. Like in our household, we didn't believe in weekends. That didn't come from me, trust me. That was more like, I'm trying to be respectful. I'm not trying to like dump on my ex or anything, but like that was very much his mentality. I remember once saying to him, other people take weekends off. And he just like looked me dead in the eyes and was like, that's not true. It was very much like you work 7 days a week. Like you're working on your main hustle and you're working on your side hustles. That was just how we lived for years. And there's nothing wrong with that. Well, there was. But I mean, what I'm saying is I don't regret that because it got me to where I am today, whereas I do have a business with a passive income that I can live off of, and I'm incredibly, incredibly grateful for that and for all the hard work I did. But that lifestyle just wasn't sustainable for me, and I ended up this summer going through a period of like what I can only describe as like depression, and I just no longer found joy in anything. I no longer had the motivation to work. I just didn't want to do anything. And I just felt this immense like weight on me all the time. And then I was talking to my therapist about it, and my therapist was like, yeah, you're depressed, you're burnt out, like the way you've been living hasn't been sustainable. Now you're suffering from burnout. So because of that, I basically stopped working altogether, and I've barely been working the last few months. Not necessarily through choice, but because like I was physically exhausted. Like it just got to the point where my body forced me to take that time off. And then during that time, that's when my relationship broke down. So then I was also going through like a heartache and also like having to move and having all these big life changes. So it's been a lot. And I just feel like it's been going on now for like since August, and it's now November. So what's that, like three and a half months? I just feel so much guilt about like not working and about taking this time off. And I was talking to my therapist about it the other day, and I went in there with the question of like, how do I get more work done? Like, how do I go back to work? And she said to me, you're asking me the wrong question. You need to be asking me like, how can I rest? Because you're not resting. And I was like, yes, I am. I've put in so much effort into like self-care and like doing things that I enjoy and all this sort of thing. And she's like, yeah, but then you beat yourself up about it and you constantly feel guilty and berate yourself and tell yourself, no, I need to be getting back to work. You're not actually letting yourself have the time to rest and recover. And like we talked about how if I worked a 9 to 5 rather than being self-employed, I would probably be signed off of work by a doctor because of this burnout. But because I'm self-employed, obviously there's like no one to give me that permission to do that. And I have to make my own choices of like taking time off and when's the right time to come back. And that can be really hard. I don't really know where I'm going with this and what my whole point was, but I guess I've just been thinking about that conversation with my therapist a lot since I had it on Tuesday. And yeah, I think she's right. And I do still need to take a bit more time to rest, to actually rest and not beat myself up for it and feel guilty for it. And then start gradually reintroducing the work, but not going back to the same pace that I was working at before because it wasn't healthy, and I'm just going to keep repeating this burnout cycle. But I do find it really hard because I think I am just like a natural overachiever, and it's just kind of the way I'm wired. And I think it's very much like my productivity is very much tied to my self-worth, which I know isn't a good thing, but like subconsciously or maybe even a little bit consciously, I feel like if I'm not overachieving, then I'm not even doing, to me, like what most people would consider overachieving, to me, I feel like that's doing the bare minimum. And if I'm not hitting that standard, then anything less than that is like I'm failing at life. And that's it's a really fucked up way to go through life and to live your life, really. I feel like I had a point that I was stumbling towards and now I've gone off on like a tangent. So yeah, I guess my whole point of this little ramblings is that this week hasn't worked out how I wanted it to, but that's okay, because actually what I wanted to do this week probably wasn't what's actually best for me and for my health and my mental health at the moment. And I really do need to continue to keep slowing down and to just enjoy this time, this period of my life where I can rest and relax, and I need to figure out a way to do that guilt-free and just allow myself to recover from like the mental exhaustion of burnout and from everything else that's been going on in life. And taking the time for myself to recover isn't lazy, or I shouldn't feel guilty about it. It's like, I don't know, if I had a friend who was self-employed in like a manual labor kind of field and say they like broke their leg so they couldn't work, I would obviously be very compassionate about that. I would be like, yeah, you need to rest. What are you doing? Like, don't be running around trying to build houses with a broken leg. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, you wouldn't force someone in a physical job to continue working if they had a physical health problem. Whereas my job is creativity and that involves my brain. So why am I trying to force myself to keep working when my brain's a little bit broken? Like, I need to give it the time to recover. I feel like that's a terrible analogy and probably made no sense at all, but that's kind of, these are just the thoughts that I've been having in my head. And I guess I'm just trying to justify to myself taking time off and living a bit slower. So if you remember that list I wrote at the beginning of the week, I think I'm just going to scrap the whole work section on that. It would have been nice to have really like come back to work and to have gotten back into it, but I think it was never realistic to expect myself to suddenly start working, especially at the pace that I used to. So yeah, I guess this week's vlog has just ended up being more of like a chatty self-care vlog again. So thanks for bearing with me. So I think the only thing I'm going to do now for the rest of the day is play some Animal Crossing on my Nintendo, maybe do some crochet, and then I also want to edit some of my YouTube videos. So it's gonna be a slow day, but I'm trying my best to be okay with that. Good morning. It's Friday already. This week has gone so fast. I had like a bit of a slow start to this morning because this was like the third night in a row where I haven't slept. I don't know what's going on with me. I still feel like I'm getting a cold, but it's like not fully forming. But like when I lie down at night, I feel like I can't breathe out of my nose. But I feel fine in myself, like I have energy and stuff. So it's just like, it's like when you feel like you've got a cold coming on, but then it never like fully breaks. I'm kind of like in that at the moment. I guess I feel like actually maybe my voice is a bit croaky as well. So I did do my hair and makeup this morning just because like I'm not going out anywhere, but I just wanted to try and make myself feel a bit better. So today is going to be kind of a boring day because I'm going to try and get a few things done from the list that I've been avoiding all week. So I'm going to go through and change my address everywhere, like with my bank, with my credit card, on the electoral roll, all that sort of thing. Like, it's not a difficult task, it's just tedious, and I think that's why I've been putting it off. So I'm just going to put some music on and just like crack on with that. Then I'm going to try and be brave and ring the doctor about getting this referral for an ADHD specialist. I am like a grown woman, but for some reason ringing the doctor still fills me with anxiety, and I don't know what that's about. So but I'm just going to be brave, and I'm going to do it, even though it kind of makes my skin crawl. Then I also want to start doing this thing that I'm calling Finance Fridays, which is like, now that I've got that budget set up, I'm going to take time every Friday to just like log all my transactions and just make sure like I'm on track with everything. I feel like I need to give it like a fancy name with alliteration, otherwise I'm just going to forget to do it. But so yeah, so going forward, that's going to be my new routine, Finance Fridays. And then after that, I'm just going to do some editing. I think really that's all I can manage today, like energy wise. And then this evening, I'm going to go to a hot yoga class. I know I went to one on Monday, but it feels like I haven't been for like ages. I don't know why. So I'm really looking forward to hot yoga, and then coming home from hot yoga and then just having like a really quiet and cozy Friday night in. I'm honestly looking forward to that so much. Not that it's been like a busy week or anything, but I don't know, I just feel like I need it. I think I've just accepted now that the shoe organisation project is just, it's not getting done this week. I just do not have the mental capacity for it, which is kind of annoying because it does need doing, but it just, I don't know why. It feels like such a huge, overwhelming task, so I'm just gonna leave it for now. I mean, they're not massively in the way, they're just like in bags in the corner of my room. It's not the end of the world if it doesn't get done immediately. So that task is going to get shifted to next week, when maybe I won't have this weird cold hanging around. Maybe I'll be sleeping better. Maybe I'll have a little more like energy and willpower to do that. So I'm still very much trying to do like what I was talking about yesterday, and just like being a bit gentle with myself and not trying to put too much pressure on myself when I'm obviously still kind of dealing with like this burnout and stuff. Why am I so scared to call a doctor? It's like, do I think they're going to shout at me? Where does this fear come from? It's so weird. I know I need to do it, but it's just like, I wish I wasn't an adult. I wish I could still get my mum to do this for me. Like, please tell me I'm not the only one who has like an insane fear of the doctors. It's not even like a scary appointment. It's just an ADHD referral. Like, nothing scary about that at all. What is wrong with me? But yeah, I think, you know, there's that whole thing of like eating the frog, doing like the thing you don't want to do the most first. I think that's what I'm gonna have to do. So I think that's gonna have to be the first task of the day. So yeah, wish me luck. I don't want to do it. I don't want to do it. I know it's gonna be good for me in the long run, so I'm gonna have to do it, but I really, really don't want to. I don't know if I even have the doctor's number saved. Hiya, I'd like to make an appointment to see a doctor, but it's not like urgent or anything, so I don't mind if it's in a few weeks' time.
Yes, I can do it. It will be 3 weeks.
Yeah,
Now for a face-to-face appointment, doctor.
that's absolutely fine. Lovely, thank you so much.
All right. Okay.
Thanks, bye. That wasn't scary at all. Why was I stressing about that for weeks? Alright, cool. So I have an appointment booked in for 3 weeks' time at the GP to talk about my ADHD potential diagnosis. That feels like such a massive step. I'm quite proud of myself for doing that. Do you know how you always build something up in your mind to be like really big and scary, and then you do it and it was like a 30-second conversation and it was like nothing, and then you're like, why did I waste weeks being anxious about this for like 30 seconds and everything was fine? Anxiety is like the dumbest shit ever, I swear. But never mind, right, all good now. So glad I got that done. I think the next thing I'm going to crack on with is Right, sticking with the eating the frog analogy, the next thing that I don't want to do is changing my addresses because that's really boring. So that's the task I'm going to do next. I just realised I could have changed my address with the doctor whilst I was on the phone with them, and I didn't. And now I'm going to have to call them back. Fine, whatever. Okay, so I've got my laptop out, I've got some ambience music on, I've got my cosy cardigan because I was getting cold. Time to crack on. I'm really hoping this doesn't take longer than an hour. First one done. It took me way longer than it should have because I had to go through so many security questions just to get into my account. And then I was in my account and then I couldn't find anywhere to change contact details. Like, that literally took me 10 minutes just to do that one. So annoying. This is why I've been putting this off, because it's just tedious. Okay, so changing my address to the bank took 3 minutes, so that was so much easier. So we're on a roll now, so let's keep going. That's another one done. So I've now done bank, credit card, the electoral roll, and my phone plan. So I still need to do the doctors, the dentist. I feel like there's something else important. I think it might just be the doctors and the dentist. I'm trying to think who else would ever send me a letter. I think that's it, and to be honest, I feel like I can just update my address with them the next time I go in. So I think we'll call that a day. All in all, that took me 20 minutes and really wasn't that bad, so glad we got that done. Okay, so I think I've done all the tasks that I needed to do for today, or well, not that I needed to do, but that I wanted to do for today. So the addresses are all updated, the budget is up to date, I booked the doctor's appointment, and I've done like a few other little tasks. Like I bought my tickets for Winter Wonderland because I'm going in a couple of weeks with my friends. Booked some train tickets which I needed for like going to visit my family in a couple of weeks, going back for Christmas, all that kind of thing. So I've got kind of like my travel sorted for the month, and then like I've updated that in the budget as well. So I feel like I'm really on top of things right now. And then I've just had my lunch break, so now I'm about to get into my afternoon tasks. It's about 2:30 already. I don't know how that happened. Which means I've got 4 hours basically before I need to start getting ready for yoga. So I think I might just spend that whole 4 hours editing because I can get a lot of editing done in that time. I was going to do some meal prepping and like have my dinner ready for like tonight when I get back from yoga, and then for like the rest of the weekend as well. But I just went into the kitchen to make a coffee and it is so cold in there. Like, it is absolutely freezing. We don't have any heating in the kitchen, so it's freezing in there, and I just don't want to stand in there for an hour making food. So I think I might just end up getting like a microwave meal or something on the way home from yoga. I feel like I've gotten into really bad eating habits since I moved here, and I need to like start reining it in because I've either been like skipping meals or I've been just eating like takeout and like really like quick convenience food that you can just shove in the microwave. Whereas like when I was living in my old flat with my ex, I was making like home cooked meals every single day. So, and I don't want to make home cooked meals every single day because that just did take up a lot of my time. But also, I don't want to eat crap either. So, I need to find like some kind of balance, and I need to like. I think the meal prepping is a good idea, and once I get into it, it'll be fine. But just today, I just cannot bring myself to stand in that kitchen. It is freezing. But that is something that I'm just like aware that I need to be more mindful of. So yeah, I think I'm gonna drag my little electric heater over to this side of the room. I'm gonna pop on my comfy Udi, and I'm just gonna crack on with editing for the rest of the day. Okay, so I've been editing for like 4 hours straight. No one told me how long editing takes. Like when I started this, I was like, when I first thought about like starting a YouTube channel, I was like, oh yeah, I could easily do like 2 or 3 videos a week consistently, and like no, because it takes me days just to edit one video. So I've been editing for like 4 hours straight, and I feel like barely like scratched the surface of what I need to do. It's going to take me, I don't know, probably another couple of days of doing like big chunks of editing like that to actually get it done. It's fun though. I do like it, and like it makes the time go quick. But yeah, now I'm going to get ready for yoga, go to yoga. On the way back, I have a package to pick up, which I'm excited about, and I will show you that later. So off I go. Let's go. Let me tell you, coming out of the hot yoga studio and then into the cold air feels incredible. Like, I can't even describe it. It's like when you're at the spa and you go straight from the sauna to the like the ice plunge pool. It feels just like that. Like, it feels so good. Something about that change temperature just like gets my endorphins going or whatever. Feels so good. Okay, so I just got back from yoga, so excuse the state of me, but I just wanted to show you this that I picked up on the way home. So when I was out in the snow the other day, I came home and my feet were absolutely like soaking wet because I realised that my boots had holes in them, which really isn't surprising because I've literally had those boots for years and I've like worn them to death. So I decided it was time for some new sort of like everyday wearable boots, and I went on Vinted and I found these for like less than £5, so total bargain. The thing with Vinted is like sometimes it's not quite as good a quality as people make out, but I think usually like 9 times out of 10 it's fine. So let's unwrap it and have a look. Ta-da! So the girl said that they'd only been worn once, and to be fair, they do look pristine. I think I got a bargain. But they're so cute. I love this little, I don't know what you'd call it. It's like an airplane seatbelt thing. A buckle. Yeah, I'm happy with these. I think white is like a bit of a risky colour, especially because like the streets around here are filthy, but I think they're really cute. So happy with these. Just wanted to show you. And then also on my way home, because I had to like pop in the store to pick these up. So whilst I was there, I got this, which I've been obsessed with lately. It's like so good. It's pineapple peach limeade, and I mean, I don't think it's very good for me. It is probably full of sugar, so I'm sorry if my dentist is watching this, I guess. But this is my little Friday night treat. And as another treat, I am going to order a takeaway. Like, I know just like literally earlier I was saying that that was like a bad habit that I've gone into that I need to get out of, but I just really didn't want to cook earlier, and then they didn't really have anything in the shop that I wanted to eat either. Like, it was all like you know, like the instant ramen and stuff, and I was like, oh, I don't want to eat that. So I'm gonna order some food, have my little drinky drink. It's gonna be my Friday night treat, but that's gonna be the last time. After this, I am gonna be really good and I'm gonna stop eating takeout because I need to prove to myself that I have some self-control and some discipline, because sometimes I feel like, I don't know, I feel like 99% of my self-control and discipline came from my ex-partner, and now that I'm on my own, it's like disappeared and I just do whatever the hell I want whenever I want, and it's like I need to rein in a little bit. Like, for one, I'm trying to be good with money, so takeout is just a waste of money at the end of the day when I have food in the fridge at home, and it's kind of like counterproductive doing all this yoga and then getting takeout. But that's for the future. Right now, tonight, I am going to get takeout and I'm going to do it guilt-free and I'm going to enjoy it. But now that I've told you guys that that's the last time and I'm not going to do it again, that means I can't do it again, okay? You guys need to like hold me accountable to that, seriously. So I'm going to have a really cozy Friday night. I'm going to have a nice hot shower now, a bit of an everything shower, going to order my food. I'm going to light some candles, like put some decent lighting on in here, make it all cozy. Go do some like face packs, skincare, go find a really nice movie to watch. I just want to be like cozy. I might do a bit of my crochet actually, because I haven't done that yet this week and I did say that I would. And maybe read my book. Like, literally that's all I want to do tonight. I used to be the kind of person who, if I didn't go out on a Friday night, I would feel really like you know, like that FOMO, like I would just feel like, oh my God, everyone's out at the club and I'm such a loser of no life because I'm sat here alone. But I don't know if it's just because I'm getting older or if I'm just more like secure in myself. But like nowadays, having a cozy Friday night in is actually like my perfect Friday night. Like, just let me be alone and be cozy and like, yeah, I love it. I did it last week and I think I want to make it kind of like a little ritual. Cozy Friday nights for the foreseeable future, especially because it's like the winter at the moment. Who wants to go out clubbing in the winter? Not me. Maybe I'm just in my antisocial era. Okay, I'm going to go grab my shower now. I'll talk to you later. Bye. Pretty sure I've ordered enough food to last me like 3 days, but I've got vegetable madras, chana masala, and a sagaloo, and in here is a garlic naan. Such a treat. Okay, so I think that's it for this week's vlog. This week has gone so fast. Yeah, I hope I haven't complained too much this week. I feel like my mood was quite up and down again. Yeah, I think the main takeaway this week is that I'm still getting used to living on my own, to being single, to not working as hard as I used to like slowing down a bit, trying to put my mental health first and like recover and all that sort of stuff. It's definitely like a big change in my life and a big learning curve to just learn how to be okay with everything. But I think overall it was a good week. The snow day was fun. I've had a lot of like self-care time, a lot of just like chill time. And I have done a few productive things as well. So yeah, good week. But it's getting super late now. I'm going to go to bed. As always, thank you for watching. And if you like these kind of chatty FaceTime style vlogs, then I'll keep making them. Give it a thumbs up. And if you haven't already, subscribe to my channel. And I will see you in the next one. Bye.